right, welcome to Travel Time Chit Chat with Tamra. Well, it is Thursday, and I got done physical therapy earlier today, and I said to Josie, my physical therapist, I'm like, I don't know what to do today. I don't know if I should go down and get some work done, if I should clean my my pantry closet, because it's really the last thing I really got to get done to clean the kitchen area. I already cleaned one closet, in that we have like a pantry that's next to our refrigerator, but in my hallway I had a coat closet when we bought the house, and we converted that into like a food pantry, and it's kind of where I store my crock pot and Instapot and just, I don't know, overstock of food. The pantry is really where my like normal food is, and what I want to do is move all of my like snack food into that closet. So when somebody's hungry and they're looking for a snack, they can go over there if they want like chips and cookies and all that kind of, honestly, out of sight, out of mind. So I'm hoping that by me not opening the cupboard in the kitchen when I'm hungry, I won't see that. Instead, I'll see healthier options like fruit and carrot sticks and stuff like that. All right, so I thought I would come on and say hello to you guys while I'm chatting. Oh, that's right. The other thing I said to her is, or should I go to the casino? Excuse me, I had to clear my throat here for a minute. I said, or should I go to the casino? And she goes, I'll go to the casino. And I got out, and as you guys can tell or maybe not tell, it is sunny out. There is snow on the ground, and it is cold. It's actually 7 right now. It was 0 when I left this morning and went to PT, but it's 7 degrees out now. And I'm like, I am just feeling the cabin fever. We haven't even hit February yet, and I've got cabin fever. I just want to get out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want it so bad. We have had, for 3 weeks now, really cold weather. Like, it has been single digits to like the below temperature, 17 below last week. Like, that was the high was like 10 below. It's been so cold. And then it get warmed up a little bit into the 20s. We get dumped with snow, and then it's right back down into the single digits, below zeros, and that's what it's going to be now for like another week. I just want to get out and get some fresh air, but it's just so cold. So I said, you know what, I think she told me, she goes, go to the casino. And I said, you know, I think I am going to do that today. I've been trying to stay back for the last couple of weeks from the casino because I haven't been doing so well. And I said, you know, I think I'm going to go today because it's a good 35-40 minute drive, and I get to enjoy the sun, blue skies, just for a little bit until I get inside. But it just kind of gives me a break. As some of you know, my in-laws have been living with us. As much as I love them, and I'm happy we could help them out right now in a time of their need while they're waiting for their house to be ready to move into, which honestly should have been like November. Don't know why it's taken so long. The sellers got a very, very poor lawyer, and everybody really blames the lawyer on this. But that's kind of what we're waiting for. And so they're living with us, and it's just nice to take a break and get away. And that's kind of where I'm at today. It's like take a little break. But aside from them, it's just that winter cabin fever. I am so ready to take a vacation, to get away. And I said, even if the vacation is going to like Lake Placid, as much as I would love warmer weather to go to, because I really feel like I need to get outdoors. I am craving to just be outdoors. And not that I can't go outdoors right now, but it is cold. It is so cold. 7 degrees. I don't want to have to put like boots and a big winter coat and everything else to try and keep me warm. And I just don't want to do all that just to be able to spend some time outdoors. I'm not a really big winter outdoors person. I don't ski, downhill, cross country. We don't snowmobile. We don't have, but we do have snowshoes, and I don't mind snowshoeing. If it was like maybe high 30s, low 40s, I'd be like, hey, let's grab the snowshoes, let's get outdoors. especially if it's sunny like today. I don't know, it just feels like every time we get into the 30s, it's usually pretty miserable and snowing, and just not a day you really want to be out, even though the temperature shows you that it's nice. It's just not a good day on all the other aspects. Where today, it's a nice day because the sun's out and nice blue skies, but it's just cold. All right, enough about the weather. I'm getting outdoors. So I just wanted to tell you guys that I am so humbled by some of the comments that I get from you guys. And I was reading, somebody made a comment on one of my videos last night, and I read it when I woke up this morning, and it made me feel so good. It made me feel so good. And some of you know that I really struggle with balancing life, reselling, personal life, reselling, and then trying to fit in YouTube in it. And, it's not really what I want it to be. I would love to do YouTube more, but I find that it just takes away from other parts of my life that I don't really want to give up. So I still do YouTube, but not as much as I would like to do. I kind of call, like these travel time chit chats, I kind of call it in my mind is like lazy YouTube, because I'm literally just sitting here talking to you guys while I'm driving, but it's empty time that I wouldn't have anything else to do but listen to the radio or something like that. So it's kind of good that, it just kind of gives me something to do. But I want to put out content, but I feel like I don't want to give up other aspects of my life. So if I can provide content while packing orders, while sitting here driving from point A to point B, then that's kind of what I do. So sometimes I am really hard on myself, and how I feel about the content that I'm providing is not what I would really like to provide. And I watch other YouTubers, and I'm always so impressed. And unless you have a YouTube channel, you don't fully understand how much work and time and energy goes into creating content for YouTube, because it is a lot of work. It is a lot of work. And some people make it look so easy, but it's a lot of work. So reading comments like I did last night, it just warmed my heart, made me feel good, and kind of gives me that, okay, keep doing what you're doing. There are people who really appreciate it, even though you're feeling like you wish you gave more. There are people who appreciate what you do give. So as of right now, that's pretty much all I really wanted. Not, I should say want to give, but I choose to not give more. I choose to go to the casino instead of creating a how-to video. I choose to spend time with my husband, or I choose to take photos and list and stuff like that instead of creating content. So I kind of choose to do that. But it is I feel really comfortable with the choice, except there's always that, oh, I wish I did more. All right, so now I'm beating that, but that's really what I wanted to come on today and say, was how humbled I am, how, I just thank you. That's the big thing. It's just thank you. Thank you so much for the extremely kind words. They mean a lot. So, all right, so I'm going to head to the casino today. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about bundling, and I was going to do a standalone video on this. I was actually going to just talk to you while I drove to physical therapy today about bundles, and then put it up as a single standalone video, but then I'm like, I'll just throw it in with this. Some people are just like, what are bundles? Because that's one thing I'm really focusing on this year on Amazon, is bundles. And I will tell you, a lot of people are like, well, what do you bundle? Like, I don't even know what to bundle. There are a number of different ways that you can create bundles on Amazon. One of them is by just putting more than one quantity of something that you're already selling. So for instance, this summer I was selling canning lids, and you could have sold one box of canning lids and sold it for X dollar amount. I can't remember what it was. I could have done a 2-pack, 3-pack, 4-pack, 6-pack, 12-pack, 24-pack. That's bundling. When you take one product and you bundle it into more than one pack. So over, like if you were to look at your FBA fees, it's cheaper when you sell 2 items together in a pack than to sell 2 items individually. So if you find that you have a product you're selling, so let's say you sell toothpaste and a lot of people buy more than 1 tube of toothpaste from you at a time. And you notice that a lot of times you're getting 2, 3, 4 orders from one person at a time for that item, then you might want to say, you know what? I think I should create a multi-quantity bundle, and whether it's FBA or FBM, create that bundle, and you can put it under the parent ASIN, which is that single bundle, the single, not bundle, but single ASIN, and you could create another, like a child ASIN off from that for a 2-pack, a 4-pack, a 6-pack, whatever, however you want to pack it. Whatever you find your trends are. So if you have items like that, then definitely, think about that. So that's one type of bundling. Another type of bundling is when you're putting more than one product together, but they're like products that people would normally buy. So for instance, you put salt and pepper together, right? So if you're starting out, if you go into a store, you'll see there's manufacturers have already bundled stuff. You might see, especially if you go into like big box stores like like Costco and BJ's and Sam's Club. If you go into those, they sell things sometimes in bundles all the time. Like you can buy a ketchup, mustard, and a relish that's together. Or you might find a bundle that has 4 different flavors of barbecue sauce. You can get Kansas City, North Carolina, I don't even know, whatever barbecue other sauces there are. So you can get like a 4-pack of barbecue sauce, all from like Heinz, right? Heinz might come out with their own bundle of 4 different barbecue sauces. So that's another type of bundle you can do, right? A cake mix, a frosting, sprinkles, birthday candles, something like that. Putting that together into a bundle. So the next thing would be is thinking about what do people buy naturally together but not always together type of things. That's kind of some of the bundles I've been looking at. So for instance, I'm trying to think of, I really should have these examples already figured out. All right, so let's say you go and look at an item online. Let's use a snow, only because I'm looking at snow right now. Let's say a snow scraper. So you go onto Amazon and you type in a car snow scraper, and you go to the bottom of every Amazon page will show you what other shoppers are buying when they are looking for a snow scraper. They're also looking for, or an ice scraper, I should say. They're also looking for this, and this. So it might be, maybe they're looking for gloves with it, or they're looking for windshield. So they make a windshield wiper fluid that is good for winter time. It helps de-ice your windshield quicker, and it doesn't freeze and all that kind of stuff. So somebody might buy that. I don't know. I'm just throwing ideas out, probably not even close to things that are with it. But on the bottom of a Facebook or on the Amazon page, you can see those items. Those are great starting points to figure out what are people buying, and then what are they buying together. So I was going to give you another example. Oh, I know. Was it you guys or was it somebody else? Maybe it was my daughter. So I called her yesterday because I have an idea. And I said, I need your help because she's honestly an expert in this area. And I said, I need your help on what I should put into a bundle for this specific topic. And I wanted your opinion. And so she was providing me with some opinions. So when we got done with that, I said, hey, listen, I'm really focusing on bundles this year, and I would love if you would think about different ideas as you're driving to work, driving home from work, you're bored at work, and you're just, because she's a purchaser, so you might see a product or see something that sparks an idea. If you see something, and you're like, oh yeah, I had thought about that. I've looked for one of those before, and it would have been really nice to be able to buy these items all together. Because that's the thing is, how many times do you, let's say you're going to start up golfing, right? So you're going to just start a new hobby. You're like, well, I'm going to start golfing. So I don't even know what golfers need. Let's say you need golf clubs, you need golf balls, golf gloves, probably golf shoes, maybe, I don't know, but that would be hard because everybody's different. That's just like an example. So you know that every time, or when I've started this, whatever it is, this hobby or this renovation, and I knew I needed this, and this. It would have been nice not to have to go on Amazon and sit there and look up golf balls, put them in your cart. Golf clubs, put them in your cart. Like for us that are resellers, right? We buy the printers, and then we got to buy the paper to go with the printer, or not the paper, but the labels, right? If you buy a label printer, you need labels to go with it. So it's just kind of bundling things like that. So I mentioned to her, and I said, kind of like if you started fishing, you would buy a fishing pole, and then you need like fishing lures or some type of bait. So putting like that type of stuff with it. And some manufacturers already come up with that type of stuff. So I really wouldn't compete with manufacturers that already have kits together like that. So think about things that aren't already produced like that, or a mixture like, hey, this is the top selling fishing pole, but this is the top selling bait, and they're two different companies. So most of the time you're not going to get dual companies working together. Sometimes you do, right? Sometimes, but a lot of times you won't. So it's kind of thinking about, okay, this is better than this one. Like I would never use this company's bait, but I would always use this company's fishing pole. I don't fish. I don't know. I really wish I could come up with some better ideas, but I don't want to tell you guys my ideas because they're my ideas right now, and you know, I'm using them hopefully. So I was kind of sharing that with her. So I'm hoping she comes up with some ideas. That is a great place to start, is reaching out to your friends and family, finding out what type of things do they buy on Amazon, and then going to those products and seeing what sells well with those products. Or just saying, hey, what's something that, you know, in the last few months that you bought, but you bought, you know, a complimentary product that complemented whatever it was that you bought. What's like that? So trying to kind of think about that. I think that's your brainstorming. And one of the things I learned in the class that I took was come up with a need. Like, what is the need out there? Look and see if that need is already fulfilled. And if it's not, then how can you fulfill that need? Don't look at wholesale companies. Don't find a product and then say, oh, I found this product. How can I bundle this with something else? Unless you determine there's a need for that. Because without a need or a want or whatever, people aren't going to be like searching your item. So if you found, I don't know, let's say like toenail, I was just thinking like toenail clippers. Like, I don't even know, like why toenail clippers? Sometimes the things that come to my mind make me laugh. So toenail clippers. You got toenail clippers. Like, what could you bundle with toenail clippers? Well, first of all, is there a need for people to be buying something that could be bundled with toenail clippers? Maybe, maybe not. So that's what you kind of need to figure out too. My toenail clippers, I still don't know why. I'm hungry. I think I'm going to grab something to eat before I get to the casino, because once I get in there, the only place to eat in there is like a sit-down restaurant, and I don't really want to. Well, you know, I could go in and sit down. Actually, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea because it would waste time. The price of a meal there is a lot less than the amount of time. Like if it took me a half hour to eat, I would probably spend more at the casino and the slots than it would for eating. So I could actually eat there. I'm trying to think of what's along the way here that I could eat if I decided to grab something. There is a Taco Bell. Am I in the mood for Taco Bell? I don't know. I do like that they have like the al fresco or whatever it's called menu. So if you're looking to kind of eat a little healthier. But I'm not really in the mood for tacos. I had tacos this week already. I don't know. What do I want? Oh, well, probably you guys don't really care what I want to eat. There's not a lot of options in this little town of Messina, New York. There's not a lot of options of what to eat. So I'm going to have to come up with something. Well, that's really all I wanted to talk to you about anyhow, is bundles. So I'll probably wrap it up here. And then on the way home, I'll probably come up with another topic to talk to you guys about or whatever and chat with you about that. Combine the two and then throw up some more travel time chit chats. Yeah. Alrighty. I'll talk to you guys later after I go over the railroad tracks. So bumpy. And I will see you on the flip side. Bye. Hello, folks. It is Thursday morning on the 27th. And I'm on my way home from PT. And as always, I feel like every time I'm leaving PT, or maybe not every, at least once a week, I'm like, oh, I should videotape my drive home and just talk to you guys. And I wasn't going to do that, but I just got done watching a video and I've got to talk to you about it because it's so motivational and I don't know, it's just very wise. All right, so I was watching a video with Gary Vaynerchuk. Is that how you say it? I don't even know if that's how you say his last name. If you guys probably know who I'm talking about. He's really big on YouTube. He does a lot of business motivational. I think he used to sell or sells like trading cards and comic books and like maybe even Pokemon stuff. I don't know. I think he was big into like, he kind of got the whole baseball card or basketball card thing. I think he gets credit for kind of bringing that back to life. But he started with his dad had a wine business and he, I think, was helping his dad and helped build the business. I don't know the whole like dynamics behind that and the business and everything, but he talks on YouTube about just being an entrepreneur and very motivational. Well, today the one I was watching when I was in physical therapy, what they do is they'll put those like a TENS unit on my shoulder because I'm there for shoulder issues. They'll put the TENS unit on and then they put on ice. And so I sit for 15 minutes and I usually will pull up YouTube and see if anyone is live, or if not, then I'll just watch it pre-recorded. And today Gary popped up and I was like, oh, I'm going to watch this. So he was talking about children and parents and how us as parents, now I have adult children and I think I've done a pretty good job with this. I'd like to ask them if they feel like I've supported whatever their dreams were. But it talks about how as parents, we kind of push our hopes and dreams onto our children. Like we want our kids to do well. We want them to succeed in whatever they're going to do, but sometimes we kind of aim them into a direction of what to do. And he was talking about how he walks down the street in New York City and he'll see these 40, 50-year-olds and he'll think, yeah, you're an engineer, but you could have been the world's best music executive. Or because he was telling a story about his child who's like the best soccer player and, you know, like the best, no, I'm just improvising what he said, but pretty much like the best soccer player. He's the fastest, he's the most technical, he's, you know, the coach is like, oh, he's the best I've ever seen. And you're thinking he's gonna go and be big in the soccer world, right? Maybe the next Beckham, right? Bend it like Beckham. They're gonna be making a movie about him. But the kid decides, you know what? I want to be a rapper. I want to sing. I want to go into the music industry. And as a parent, you're like, no, you're the best. Like your coach is telling you, you're the best ever at what you're doing. You need to do this. And I think as parents sometimes we'll sit there and say, you're only 16. You don't know. You don't know what's best for you. I know what's best for you. How many times has parents said that? You don't know what's best for you. I know. You're never going to make it as a rapper. Well, imagine if like Chance, I think that's the guy, Chance the Rapper, or is it Chase the Rapper? Chance? I don't know. Imagine if Michael Jackson's, well, I can't really use that as an example, because Michael Jackson was kind of forced into the music industry from what I understand. I don't know if it's something he really wanted to do. But anyway, this child, the 16-year-old who's a great soccer player, could be the next biggest thing. And as a parent, we hold our kids back at times from doing what maybe their calling is because it's not what we expect. And so Gary had mentioning, there's certain cultures that really push your child into being a doctor, a lawyer, that type of thing, and how in some ways there are parents who unfortunately pretty much say, do as I say or I'm going to cut you out of the family. Can you imagine? And I think of that because I have somebody I know, I don't want to mention names, but they decided they wanted to move out of the Northeast and move to Florida because of health reasons. And do you know that the parents of that person said, and these were grown adults with children, and the parents said, if you move out of this area, we are going to pretty much disown you. Can you imagine? I mean, that just shocks me that somebody would say that. And Gary had used, one of the things he said was he could have been the next best comic book artist or comic book flipper, right? So when he said flipper, because I know he does reselling, and that person could have been the best. Like, how many parents would say, you can't go to college. I mean, you got to go to college. You got to go to college. And the kid's like, but I'm doing really well at Amazon. Like, I just started Amazon this summer and I'm doing really well. I don't know if I want to go to college. I graduated in May, June or whatever from high school. I started Amazon that summer. And then August came and the parents are like, you got to go to college. And he's like, I don't know. I just sold $10,000 in my first month of Amazon. Could you imagine growing that up? I could be a multi-million business. And parents would be like, that's not a real business. You got to go work for somebody. You got to go to college. You got to get a degree. You have to go punch a time clock, right? You got to work in the mine like all your parents and your grandfather and your father and your great-grandfather. They've all worked in the mine. You got to go get a job at the mine also. So many times us parents push our kids to do what we have done, to follow our footsteps, follow our hopes and our dreams. Maybe you're a doctor and you've always planned on your daughter to become a doctor also, and you cannot even fathom that your daughter might want to become a plumber. And you're like, you can't be a plumber. You got to be a doctor. You got to go to med school. But they could be the best plumber in the world. They could be the plumber that, invents the best toilet or new bidet, or, at some point somebody created a bidet. They could be that next person working in that field, could come up with the best solution for something. I don't know. Those are really weird examples. But just listening to him, I started thinking about my own kids who are older. I got a daughter who will be 30 this year, and my son is 28, or he'll be 28. So I'm just like, okay, how was I as a parent? Now, I will say I really pushed them into going to college. That was a big thing back then. I don't know. I don't think hindsight is I probably went to push them. Neither child are really in a job with their college that they went to college for. I think both of them are in jobs that they may or may not have even gotten had they not gone to college. So in some ways, I'm not really sure if it really, I don't know, maybe I think maybe my daughter learned some lessons in college, life lessons that I think have helped her. I'm not sure it helped my son at all. I don't think he really learned life lessons. I don't know, just from what I say. I'd be interested to talk to them and see what they think about it. So as a parent, especially us, if you're watching me, you're probably a reseller. But as a reseller, we all know, right? We know that you don't have to work a traditional 9-to-5 job. And I've always said, why do they say 9 to 5? Because I've never worked 9 to 5. It was always 8 to 5 or 8 to 4:30 with a half-hour lunch. I never went to work starting at 9 and got out at 5. That's not even an 8-hour day if you took a lunch break. I don't know. I digress on that. So, I think that with us, our children probably are better off. I'm just kind of, I'm saying that, but who knows? I don't know all you and how you are raising your children. But I think that having a untraditional job like what we have, doing this reselling, I think if you are a part-time reseller and you have still a traditional job, that the idea that your child could follow their dreams and do something non-traditional, maybe work from themselves right from the beginning, I hope that you're supporting that. I hope that you see that that could be a good positive way for them to go. Because I know for me, there's so many times, I've had some great jobs in the past, and I've been really lucky. I've worked for some just very amazing people and worked with amazing people. I feel very fortunate for the life experiences that I've had so far with my jobs. Even some that didn't turn out good. Like, I got fired from a job, falsely accused of something, and I'll tell you, that hurt me for months, because I knew 100% deep down, like, I can't even, like, higher than 100, even though there's nothing higher than 100, overflowing out of the bucket, that what I was accused of, I did not do. I knew I didn't do that. And it was so hard, because I really enjoyed that job. I love the people I worked with. Obviously you don't always love everybody, but I was able to at least tolerate some. But there was some people I worked with that I just absolutely adored and loved, and still am friends with today. And my I would say my boss, who actually was my boss, because I was working as a contractor, and what happened was I was working as a contractor, and where I was working, the person who's overlooks that whatever. Oh, I just had a deer cross in front of me. Oh, I gotta slow down because there's one right there. Don't run out. Good, you ran the other direction. Don't run in front of me. So where I was working as a contractor, they let me go. And who I was working for, my real boss, was like, that's bull crap. Like, they couldn't believe it. They knew me. They know my integrity and who I am as a person. Thankfully, I was able to keep working with them, but on a different job and the job site and stuff. So that worked out good for me. Actually, it worked out really well for me. Talking about turning lemons into lemonade. I had the biggest pot of lemonade with fresh lemons right in it. Man, that worked out tremendously for me. But until that turned out to be the lemonade, those lemons hurt. They were like squeezing them into open wounds. It was so painful. All right, so I don't even know so I was going back to why I feel so fortunate for everything I've done. But now that I'm working for myself, I really wish I would have done this sooner. Had I fully known that this was something I could have done when I was younger, oh my gosh, where I could be today. Because right now, I'm 53, and I don't want to build this big empire. I don't want to put the time and energy into that, because of my lifestyle is just different now. We're empty nesters, we want to travel, it just makes things different. But if I had younger kids and they were heading off to school, so I had the days to myself, and I could get into this reselling business back then, if I could have gotten into Amazon and even some private label, if I could have just learned a lot of that stuff young, I feel like I could have really done a lot with my business. Now I just choose not to do that much with my business. For those who watch my Monday show, you know that I made an announcement that I'm actually changing my business again, but changing things up. I was really going to focus on Amazon this year and Amazon FBA, and as I started to kind of change that focus at the beginning of January, as the weeks went on, I decided that, you know what, I just don't feel like I've got the passion for Amazon like I had. I just felt like it's kind of waned. And last year I started focusing on a niche area and really enjoyed the niche, which is planners and planning and stationery and stickers and all that. And I really, really enjoy that area. I love it. And I've decided, I made that announcement on Monday that I decided I'm going to kind of wean back from even Amazon and eBay and all the other platforms. I'm going to keep trying to sell what I've got listed. I'm not actively going to go out and source things, which this week I've turned away. My sister called me because she had a bunch of clothes from her son's closet that were brand new with tags. They were LL Bean and Eddie Bauer and Carhartt, just, more like outdoorsy brands, North Face, that kind of stuff. And I said, I don't want them. I don't want them because I don't want to be distracted from what my goal is right now. And then my daughter called me yesterday. She goes, Mom, I just left Olympia Sports. They got a great sale. I just got these snow pants. And she was telling me about some other brands that they had. And, whatever Olympia Sports. She's like Under Armour, Nike, and so forth. She goes, if you want, I'll go in tomorrow for you. Because she's in another state. She goes, I'll go in and I will FaceTime you and we can look at some of the stuff and you can tell me if it's anything you want. And I was like, thank you. That's the first time she's done that. So I was like, thank you so much for thinking of me. But unfortunately, things have changed in the last week and I've decided I'm not going to be doing that type of stuff anymore. And so she was actually excited when I told her what my new direction is for my business. I do know that it's going to take a while to get up to a point where I'm going to be making money because I got a lot of prep work and investigation, and I just have a lot of work I need to do ahead of time. And so she said, she was excited for that, but I'm excited. I'm so excited. Today I did do my accounting this week, got caught up to the end of December. I just now need to print it and overlook it and see if there's anything I'm missing. Just kind of double check it before I sit down to do my taxes in a couple weeks once we get all our tax documents in. And then yesterday I started my inventory, and I talked about that a little bit on my show yesterday about how I check my inventory. I'm pulling out each of my bins. I'm reducing my prices. I'm taking the time. I'm going to edit every item and reduce my price. I'm going to be really aggressive with some of my prices and lower them down. Things that were maybe like $25, I'm bringing them down to like $12. Gonna be 50% off, sometimes even more. I've got items I just knocked down to like even $6. So I just want to clear stuff out. I want to just kind of I kind of almost declutter my reselling business, even though it's not really cluttered, but I have so much in stock. I need to get that under control. And then I just want to be more specific. But in the meantime, I'm going to be running this other business, my planning business, and I'm going to really, really be focusing on the planners and getting that to hopefully a profitable business. We'll see. I've got a lot of learning to do. I've never undertaken something like this, especially where I've had to use my creative side, and I don't know. We'll see. Had to open my door. We're home. Oh, there's deer in the backyard and some turkeys. Oh, there they go. They go running. Jeez. They run to the tree line and then they just come back out once I walk in the house. I'll look out and they'll be walking back out. So yeah, but the big thing of talk of today was the Gary, the video I watched with Gary, and I'll tell you, it's just really eye-opening, and I hope more parents pay attention to that. Unfortunately, most of the parents who are pushing their kids in a certain direction probably don't watch YouTube to get that advice to know that they shouldn't be doing that, but I don't know. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Come on. Bye-bye.